I'd better set up a meeting on Tuesday with Walter about those rising paper costs. And I better see Cindy to make sure she got those galleys over to Peter. We won't get them back in time to get the press. And then we... Oh. Aren't they beautiful? Oh. Oh. No, let's see. Wednesday at that proofreading session, I've got to get that book out of the office. And, well, the rest of the week doesn't look too bad. There's that luncheon on Friday. Yeah.
Well, were there any other calls or appointments this morning?
Yes, Mr. Watts called about the galley proofs for his book, and he said something about leaving for Europe in 3 weeks. And the printer asked to see you right away this morning.
Oh, no. The pressures of this job. Well, no one's going to interfere with my schedule. Everything is going to go as planned. We'll finish our work efficient.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Everybody looks to this department for guidance, Cindy. We're sort of the nucleus of the production area. Now, Cindy, before you take any more appointments, I want you to check this calendar. I can tell you right now that all the conference hours are filled, and it's only Monday.
I like your new calendar, Mr. Steckler.
Oh, well, thank you, Cindy. I spent the whole weekend making it. Oh, it looks blank right now, but by the time I transfer all of these appointments from my little book to this one, every one of the slots will be filled.
Morning, Otto. Great news.
Well, good morning, Frank. Sorry I was late.
Well, that's all right. Listen, we just finally landed the Ohio school account for all the vocational textbooks.
That is great news. The firm can use it right now.
Precisely, but there's one problem left.
Oh?
Yes, they very definitely want that appendix listing all the materials, lumber, nuts, bolts, screws, nails, everything you've already cut out.
Yeah.
So listen, I want you to drop whatever you're doing right now and concentrate on getting that list ready to go to the typesetter.
Oh, but Frank, I can't do that. I've got everything scheduled.
But Otto, an order for 37,000 textbooks is the most important thing in the world right now. There's nothing else that really matters.
But Frank, you don't understand. My calendar is...
What?
My calendar is jammed with items that are equally important to the company. My whole week is planned.
Well, okay. Maybe Simpson could handle it. Yes, I think he could arrange that list. That's what we'll do. Simpson can handle it. Are you all right, Otto? Otto, are you all right?
Oh, yeah. Sure, Frank. Just a little twinge, probably breakfast indigestion. Now, don't worry about a thing, Frank. I'll make up the materials list. I'll see that it gets out.
Are you positive you can handle it?
No problem at all. I just panicked there for a minute. I'll see that it gets out by the end of the week. No problem.
That's great, Otto. I always know I can depend on you.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit like a surgeon. I'll sew the appendix back in.
Reliability, organization. That's what I like about you, Otto.
Well, I appreciate it. Anytime you need a surgeon, call on me.
And if you need anything from my office, you contact me.
Okay, Frank.
You always amaze me, Mr. Steckler.
Why?
Whenever there's any problem, you just regroup and then go on working like mad. Well, want me to start canceling appointments for this afternoon?
Oh, no, don't cancel a thing. I'll handle it. No, you might go out and bring all the files on vocational aids, huh? While I sit here and do my thing on this calendar. Like a juggler.
And then she said they have steak 3 times a week.
Oh.
Can you imagine that? She says the wildest things. It can't all be true.
Oh,
What do you
Well,
think?
is this a bridge game or what, huh?
You know, that little girl's
I
pretty
did
rough
one
time
no trump.
Well, you know that little girl's had a real rough time of it. You gotta remember that.
It's your bid, George, right?
Oh, I pass.
Well, you know, it was so terribly sad about her husband, too. I mean, he was so young,
Oh, I
Evelyn.
know, and I just cried and cried at the funeral. I just couldn't help myself.
Evelyn, would you please bid?
Oh, how about 3 clubs, partner? How's that? No, you can't say your wife hasn't done anything nice for you.
You know, though, a funeral is so emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say to a person in a situation like that?
Wilma, it's up to you.
Oh, all right. I pass. You know, anything you say sounds so phony. So I just try to say what's honest from my heart.
6 no trump.
6, no.
Oh.
I pass.
I pass.
I just wanted to comfort her physically, you know. I could have just reached out and put my arms around her, but I couldn't. All I could do was just stand there and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's your bid,
I-
Wilma.
Okay, Otto. I'm just trying to think here.
You can't rush Wilma when she's trying to think.
All right, George. Did you bid anything besides no trump?
Just no trump.
Oh. Well, I pass. I don't know what I'm even looking for.
And I felt just the way you did that night. Absolutely emotionally destroyed. You know, seeing her standing in the funeral parlor with tears in her eyes and all that. I was so glad Otto was there beside me. He's so calm and collected in a situation like that. So I can just let myself go with him there.
You gave me a jump shift with cards like those.
Well, you always tell me to answer with the best suit.
But you never raised me with just 8 points.
Otto, it doesn't matter. I mean, you win it anyhow. It's only a game.
Only a game. But the purpose of the game is to make the maximum number of points in every hand.
Yeah, sure, Otto. Oh, it's my lead.
That's right.
You know, I know men aren't supposed to show emotion, but I felt so sorry for that girl, I couldn't help but go down and tell her how I felt. And I'm not the least bit embarrassed about having done it either.
Good.
Yeah, well, people should be left alone in those situations. It's up to them to cope with it by themselves. All by themselves. Alone.
Otto?
Hey.
You all right, Otto?
Sure. Sure, what do you mean? I was just saying to you, Evelyn, don't expect me to make 6. No trump with lousy support like that, huh? Well, why don't we just play bridge and forget all the small talk, huh?
May I take your order now, sir?
Oh, yeah, just bring me the house special. Oh, wait, hold it. Make that a BLT and easy on the mayonnaise, right?
Okay, sir. Anything else?
No, that'll be all. That's just fine, huh?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, no.
Otto? Otto!
Oh,
I might have known you'd
I
still
didn't
be at
see
it.
you come in.
I might have known you'd be using your lunch hour to work in. Oh, by the way, Otto, I'd like for you to meet Mark Holliday.
Oh, nice to meet you, Mark. Well, won't you fellas sit down?
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Steckler. I've heard a lot about you.
All good, I promise you.
Well, that's good.
Well, as you know, Mark here is our new assistant editor, fresh out of graduate school, and the man we've all been looking forward to meeting. Oh, by the way, Mark, Otto here is our most productive senior editor. He's kind of the old war horse of the firm.
Or workhorse, depends on how you look at it. Well, all kidding aside, Mark, the firm is a good place to work for. There's always room for a creative imagination in publication.
Yes, sir. Well, I hope I'll learn fast enough to do a good job right away.
Well, don't you be too impatient.
Oh, that's right. When I think of the many years I've had to work in order
Well,
to
Mark
get...
here will be taking a few days to get settled, and then I'd like to assign him to work with you, Otto.
with me.
Yes, just for a little while. He can sort of learn from the masters, so to speak.
Yes, Mr. Hensley tells me that your sense of organization and structure is unusually good, both in the office and in the planning.
Well, I like to be orderly and efficient in whatever work I do. I'm kind of like a juggler between my life at home and the office. But it's a pretty tough time to keep it going sometimes. Pretty tough. It really gets pretty tough.
May I take your order?
Just coffee, thank you.
Just coffee.
I think with Mark's background, he could be a genuine asset, Otto. He's got a nice, fresh view. He's got an open mind about things, and he thinks like, well, today. Well, not that you're out of date, Otto. My God, you were one of the original free spirits around this place. Well, anyway, I feel that Mark could relieve you of some of your burden. Take some of the everyday chores off your back so you can spend more time concentrating on long-range plans.
I don't know about that, Frank. I've been like an old workhorse in the harness for 23 years. It took a long time to develop the methods and to
Precisely, Otto. That's why the firm needs you to concentrate on planning for the future. That's why Mark here was brought in.
Well, I don't know, Frank. This is nothing against you personally, Mark, but I just don't think there's anyone could step into my shoes right now on that job.
Listen, I'm sure I won't be ready for that for a long time yet. I realize I'm still too green.
We could never replace you, Otto, but someday, very soon, I'm going to have to put you to work exclusively on the master plan for the next 10 years. And when that happens, we'll have to have somebody to take over your day-to-day production responsibilities. We need to get the best value we can out of your long experience.
Oh, right, Frank, but I don't know what you have in mind.
We'll talk about this sometime later, Otto, but in the meantime, I'd like for you to put Mark to work on something you're doing, just for the experience, okay? Well, look, we've got to run now, Otto. I want to introduce Mark to a few other people.
Nice meeting you, Mr. Steckler.
Nice meeting you, Mark. I'm sure we can find something suitable for you.
Well, now, that's the right attitude. Look, I'm sorry we can't stay for lunch with you.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, too. I'll see you later, Frank.
Right.
I love this time of year, don't you? Reminds me when we first met. We used to hold hands then. We'd walk along. You'd tell me about all the things you dreamed about doing. Otto, what are you thinking about now? Otto, you're not paying any attention to me. Even now, what's the matter?
What do you mean? I'm listening to you.
No, you're not listening. You're a million miles away. Inside yourself, you're worried about something at the office.
Hey, look over there.
Yeah. Aren't they cute? Otto, I'm sorry to have to say this, but you're an organized, efficient provider. You're dedicated to your family and your work. I don't know if you realize how much it hurts to have to live with someone who never really listens to me. You never listen to me. You never talk about your feelings. I don't know what your dreams are, or if you have any dreams.
Oh, now, take it easy for a minute. I have dreams. I have memories. I can remember what it felt like to have a kite string in my hand, the tugging and the pulling. My mom bought me a kite. Oh, she made it, actually, with scissors and paste and old newspapers. Oh, it was beautiful. Just like that one over there.
I haven't seen you smile like that in I don't know how long. You can imagine.
I flew that kite day after day in a park, just like this one, by our house. Mom used to watch me out the window sometimes.
Some activity, some hobby that we could do together.
Oh, the times I used to have in that park. Oh, I could tell you 1,000 stories about when I was a kid.
You've got to think of something we can do together that we can communicate about. Don't you think, Otto? Don't you think, Otto? Otto?